Hello, and welcome to the Nebraska Wesleyan University Theater Podcast, the podcast made by the students, staff, and faculty of Nebraska Wesleyan's Theater Department for patrons like you. Today, we're talking with Mo Benesh, the technical director and,
It's okay. I'm the scene shop supervisor.
Scene shop supervisor for Nebraska Wesleyan University. Sorry, we were talking about what it is to be a technical director in class with Mo the other day, and it was really fun. So, you oversee our shop, right?
I do, yeah. I oversee our scene shop, and I oversee the production of our scenery for all 8 productions. I'll credit your slip there. This year Jarvis and I have been alternating technical directing different productions. So I was the technical director for Gentleman's Guide and Alice by Heart this semester.
Yeah, that's awesome. What was it like working on those projects with student workers?
It's honestly probably the most fun part of the job, and it's why I was so interested in working in educational theater specifically. I think that for a lot of folks, scene shops specifically can be really kind of scary and intimidating places, and both the culture, a lot of those spaces, and also just the tools themselves. And so being able to hopefully help make those places be a little bit more friendly, a little bit more inviting, both in the culture and the equipment is something that I really enjoy. Working alongside students is fantastic. We've got this semester 7 fantastic work studies, and we've got a great batch of folks that come in just to hang out and work with us. For our work studies, it's a lot of fun working with them year to year and just kind of improving our skills, whether it's folks that were already working in the shop for their, what would it be, second or third years when I got here, or folks that, are just starting out this year and just kind of being able to grow their skills and help flesh out their portfolios so that when they leave here, they can be employable theater artists.
Yeah. And just to clarify, the work studies, those are students here who also get to be able to be paid for helping build our sets and props and anything else, right?
Yeah, that is correct. Yeah. It's one of quite a few work study positions that we have in the department. So scenic folks will also help with lights and sound for productions. They'll also paint shows, work in props, things like that. I know that there's also folks that are employed in the costume shop, front of house, recruiting. I'm sure the list goes on.
Yeah. And it's really fun always looking around because pretty much every afternoon, somewhere in the department, you can find a ton of students working to put stuff together. I think for A Midsummer Night's Dream, I saw that ramp go up in one afternoon.
Yeah.
It was really impressive how fast y'all work.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. We are really lucky that for the most part we can get all of our work study folks in the shop every afternoon from 2 to 5 p.m. So we can all work together to make really big pushes like that and also make sure that we are kind of looking out for each other and all learning from each other.
That's great. So you mentioned earlier that you have an interest in educational theater. What kind of started you into exploring education?
When I was in school, I found that, when I first started working and first started going to school, I was actually way more interested in props because I know a lot of our students do. I thought that scene shops were really intimidating, and I always kind of felt like when I was in a shop that everybody was watching me and everybody knew that I didn't know what I was doing. You know how that.
Yeah.
And I was also just afraid of making mistakes. Over time, I think I kind of was able to muscle through that. And alongside doing that, I was working with my school's equivalent of student directeds. And I was spending my weekends working with performers to have them build scenery with me and just kind of help teach them to be comfortable in a space that I myself was still learning to be comfortable within. And so with that, as I became more confident working in a scene shop and more comfortable in that setting, I found it more and more, as I kind of fell in love with that work, I became way more interested in helping others see the beauty of that too. So all in all, it just kind of brought me around to educational theater, just in the sense of helping folks to be more comfortable in scary places.
You mentioned working with actors. How often do you see people who are in performance tracks come in and be able to help take shop classes, be able to work in the shop?
Honestly, more often than not. Quite a few of our current work studies are musical theater people or folks that are kind of on that dual musical theater design tech track. I wouldn't say that I would say that anyone that wants to be interested in wants to come into the space and is interested in what it can offer, absolutely can get to a point that they're working in there and that they're successful. And what I always tell folks that pop into the shop, even just perspectives for an afternoon, is that even if you don't want to be a theater carpenter one day, if you want to be a performer or a dentist, whatever you want to pursue, it'll never hurt you to be proficient with those tools and to be comfortable in that kind of setting, because, hey, maybe one day you'll be a homeowner and redoing your kitchen cabinets, right?
Yeah. That's the dream nowadays, to own a home.
Yeah, isn't that the truth?
Yeah. Is there a way for students who are not in the work-study program to come help out and either help with builds or help with strikes?
Absolutely, yeah. Our doors are always open. Typically, shop hours are 2 to 5 p.m. So generally, if you want to be involved in the shop and you could come in with absolutely zero skills, we will teach you everything that you need to know. You're more than welcome to just pop in within that time frame. Or if that doesn't work for you, just shoot me an email. I'm in the directory. You can find me. And just say, hey, I'd really like to learn to be better at this stuff, and we'll find a time that you can get in and we can get you involved.
And if you're coming to work in the shop, what are some important safety tips you have?
Yeah, for
Things
sure.
like closed-toed shoes.
Yeah, that's really the big one. Wear closed-toed shoes. We'll provide you with the PPE that you need, so safety glasses and hearing protection and dust masks if that's necessary for the day's work. But closed-toed shoes are really wise. I personally recommend long pants, though I don't require it because I know that we're getting into hotter weather, but long pants will help to kind of protect you. It's wise to avoid really flowy clothing or things that can get caught in your workwear. And I'll typically encourage people to tie their hair up or their beards up if they've got long hair in either of those places. Other than that, yeah, we'll get you everything that you need to be successful.
And you've mentioned that you've worked on all of the main stage productions here. So what has been your favorite build of this past school year?
Oh, that is such a fun question. It's so hard to answer. I suppose I have some recency bias, but I did really enjoy the set for Gentleman's Guide. It is such a dynamic piece that it's just a fun one to build. And we've got quite the mix in that set of old carpentry techniques and new carpentry techniques. So if you look at that, we've both got, all sorts of classics. You've got that big rolling stage, which is just classic theatrical scenery. And we've also got to use our CNC for that, which stands for Computer Numerical Control. It's basically a router that's controlled by a computer. So if you're an audience member and you want to look out for that, if you look at that big brick wall that's on the upstage side, that was all cut with our CNC, as are the little filigree pieces on those mobile door units. But it's just a really fun mix of techniques, and it was a really good opportunity for a lot of our students that are involved in the shop to kind of hone their portfolios and just get some really good personal projects.
Speaking of the shows, though, how far in advance do you typically get your projects in the shop? Like, how long do you have to work on a show from start to strike?
Yeah, so the entire production process this year, we've been working to operate with a 22-week model. So 22 weeks out from opening, we'll have our contact week. So that's theoretically, when everybody gets in a room together and we know who's filling all the key roles for a production. From there, the design conversations go forth with the intention that we would hopefully start build about 6 weeks in advance. More often than not this year, just because of the nature of doing a lot of theater, we've operated closer to about 3-week builds, which is fun, and it certainly requires a lot of good collaboration between different productions and just making sure that we are sharing all the hands that we need to get everything done.
That's awesome. So in the feedback forms, one of the suggestions I got, and I'm curious what your take on this is, somebody asked for a weekly what's going on in the shop update, or what are we building?
Uh-huh.
What has been the most fun thing you've done this past week?
This past week? Well, we are at that point in the year that, we're not starting on the next production quite yet. We actually have our first meeting for Dear World, which is the first production of the fall, this afternoon. So we've kind of been in that limbo area of the shop where we're not actively working on a production, which means we're in my favorite time of year, shop projects. So favorite thing I've worked on this week has really just been a lot of tidying up. Right now, and really over the course of last August and now this May, we are working on revamping our tool room. So I don't know if you've had a chance to pop in there, but we are going from a bunch of shelving that was just not great, took up a little bit more space than it needed to now we're doing a French cleat system that wraps around all the walls. So we've got, last August, we were able to knock out the back wall of the tool room, and now this May, we're hoping to kind of wrap around the other sides. And I'm so very excited to get that one complete because I love a well-organized tool room.
Yeah, I do find that the end of the year is always really fun for cleaning because you get to undo everything and you get to put everything in its right place and it just sits there for the summer and you don't have to think about it.
Yes, I'm hoping to get all of these things accomplished so that I can walk back in August to a well-organized, clean thing. What a fantastic start that would be to a new year.
Do you have anything else that you'd want to talk about?
I'm not too sure what it would be. I'll just harp again. If anybody is even passingly interested in hanging out in the shop or learning what we do, and I'll speak for my colleague Alexa here in the costume shop as well, I would just really encourage those folks to come and talk to us, and I'm super confident that we will find a way to get them involved, get them the skills that they need, and make sure that they have a little bit of fun doing it too.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for coming.
Of course, thank you for having me. And before we're done, I want to say you did a fantastic job in family videos. You
thank you.
Made that character a real joy.
Yeah, thank you for coming out. It's really fun for the student directs getting to see the faculty come in. I know, especially towards the middle of the semester, everyone's busy, but it always puts a smile on my face just looking out at the audience and being able to make eye contact with one of my teachers and just be like, yeah, I'm talking to an alien right now.
Yeah, no, you did a great job.
Yeah. Thank you so much for coming. And before we close out for the end of this school year, I just want to take a quick moment to say thank you to everyone who has listened to these podcasts, who has shared them, or even if you came in and did one with me. I cannot understate how grateful I am that this project just worked out. It started off as, oh, we have a podcast studio. Why do we never use it? And just jokes like that. And then I didn't really ever think I would make the jump to actually being able to start and produce it. And in all honesty, I couldn't have without the support of everyone around me. So I just want to say sincerely, thank you so much for helping to support this. We will be back again at the start of next school year, probably around August-ish, with hopefully even more fun ideas, more fun people to talk to, and maybe even a few surprises here or there. This week in the department, it's finals week. We got nothing left. So as you look forward towards the summer, remind yourself to take a break, to enjoy your life, and to just live it the way you can. If you're doing any summer projects, let us know. Maybe when we come back, we can share what everyone has done over the summer. Big thanks to Kevin MacLeod from Incompetech.com for letting us use his piece Dreamer, licensed under Creative Commons by Attribution 4.0 license. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope to see you soon. And one last time, truly, thank you so much for listening.